The Orlando Magic are currently 23-20 and have withstood injuries to key players ranging from Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, and Paolo Banchero. Good thing for them, he has returned. But considering all the injuries they've had this season, I'm pleasantly surprised they held on to the top spot in the East. And I think this is a clear testament to Coach Mosley's belief in this group of guys, and also an example of what it looks like when you construct a roster with a deep bench.
This is exactly what it looks like when the next man up theory really comes into play. Now, I know we say next man up, and it's cute when it's one or two players, but when you pretty much have your whole starting five out in 118 games on and off, that's hard. And to still maintain the top 6 seed. Now, currently they are below 6. I think it'll be for a short period of time as we are recording this video. But at the end of the day, during the 86 games that Paolo Banchero did not play, they were able to maintain their top 6 seed. That's huge. So yes, next man up theory is in full effect. When we're talking about what does that look like, I want people to start pulling up the Orlando Magic's 24-25 NBA season, because that's exactly what it looks like.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, Paolo Banchero, when he came back, it was almost as if he did not miss a step. See, and that's another
Promise.
thing too. He came back and it was like minute restriction. What is that? Let me go ahead and drop these 26.7 rebounds and 4 assists in 32 minutes. See, this is how it looks when you also come back when you're ready and not a moment before.
Right. Also, when you are locked into the team anyway. He was at every game. He was
Mhm.
engaged on the sideline, right? He's involved with a team that has great chemistry. All of these things matter. A coach that respects him, him and his health, right? And in an organization that wants to see him thrive and be successful. When all those things come into place and when all these things act in concert, this is the outcome of that. You come back as a player, Paolo Banchero, ready to play, like you never left. This is what happens when you're young.
Oh, for
Enjoy your
real.
youth. Enjoy your youth,
Yes.
young fella. Because these are the things that happen, right? I expect the same from Franz Wagner when he comes back late January if he's still on track. That's what I expect. Not only are they out with the people that you mentioned, but Goga, is out on concussion protocol. Another one, come on, and another one, and they still are able to manage. What I love the most about the Orlando Magic this season is their ability to win by committee. Again, how we gonna get these wins? And you can make it happen for us. And for me, that's just what we've been looking at. You guys, this is what the NBA is all about. This is the hustle, the grit, the grind. This is the connection, the tenacity that these teams should have when they are struggling with injured players consistently. And we're looking at it from the Orlando Magic standpoint successfully. I love it. I'm here for
Me
it.
too. Early in the season, I challenged Cole Anthony to return to his old self.
Oh,
Well, you know what?
baby.
He is taking full advantage of this surge in his minutes, because of injuries to Jalen Suggs in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Cole
Mm-hmm.
Anthony has turned back the clock to when he had dreads, right? I mean, he is balling, right? He's averaging about 20 points lately. I mean, just the defense. He's always on my parlay. Like, yeah, always. Cole Anthony gonna give you everything that you need. And I
I
just love
mean,
seeing it because for a while, Coach Mosley went away from him. And I was like, why?
yeah, no, and it's okay. It's okay. That probably gave him the drive he is currently having right now. What he's shooting over 50% most nights. Come on.
Balling.
As the starter, I am. Yeah, come on, Cole. Get some of this too. And it's okay, So when Jalen Suggs come back, because he'll be inserted back into the starting lineup. And that's okay too. So when Jalen Suggs sit down, Cole Anthony, now you back on. Get it in.
Hmm.
Just do it. And
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. I think it has a lot to do with the chemistry of the team. And that players on this team want to see everybody successful because they understand what the end goal is. And the end goal is to make it to the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when we get to the playoffs, we'll determine how deep we want to go once we start playing again. Now, I will say this, though. The Orlando Magic, what's been holding them, um, the fact that they win by committee, but also that their defense is phenomenal, right? And that's been holding them steady. If you can get these teams go under 100 points, because that's exactly what's happening. If you look at the games, I'm like, oh, they can't even. They're disrupting players, disrupting teams in order to make sure that they secure their wins. And so when defense wins championships, but right now for the Orlando Magic, defense is winning regular season games.
Yes, yes. 3-point shooting has been their Achilles heel all season. But
Yeah.
when I think about 3-point shooting, I can't help but look at KCP. Now,
Oh,
KCP,
don't even get me started
you know what?
on it.
Is the KCP of the Denver Nuggets and KCP of the Los Angeles Lakers a thing of the past? I mean, because
Yes,
if it is, let me go ahead and accept that.
I have. As of this recording, as of this moment, KCP is no longer a volume 3-point shooter. That's it.
Mhm.
So now my expectation, because I had expectations of him, especially when I know the Orlando Magic struggles with shooting overall, right? And I know what KCP has done in the past on 2 championship teams he was on. I know that. However, this KCP of the Orlando Magic is not the one of old. And so I'm accepting it today. You will not hear me.
Mm.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say you will not hear me talk anything that is against KCP and his 3-point shooting. No, KCP, I still want you to shoot the 3 ball. But if you can still defend on the perimeter like you've done in the past, can you at least hold on to that? You can't lose all your skill, right? So I'm gonna still need for you
Yes.
to be defending at a high level. And if you can do that, then I guess I'll have to accept this new mature KCP on this Orlando Magic team.
Okay, well, the Magic are still a really good rebounding team. They second in the league in blocks, third in defensive rating. But Coach Mosley, after one of their recent losses, because they took some big L's to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, he said we've just been dealing with self-inflicted wounds. And it doesn't matter if we lose by 2 points or 56 points, the result goes in the same column. I said, see, that's the kind of coach you want. You don't want a coach to come to the podium and throw you under the bus. You want them to support you, similar to an Ime Udoka, similar to a Joe Mazzulla. They support their players when the media asks them questions about, and that's all you could really hope for. Now, in practice might be a different thing. It's like, well, you
Yeah,
don't talk about house business outside. Keep it in house, and that's what the coaches have been able to do to support their
that's
players
right.
with the media.
I love it. I love it. I just think that it is critical to allowing the players to get over it. To get over it. Next game. Get ready for the next game. We'll talk about the gaps and the misses, and even the hits in film session. But really, right now, let's focus on what the next game looks like. And I like that because it's all about moving
Mhm.
forward. Because for me, even though the Orlando Magic has slipped below 6 as we speak, that gap between 5 and 6 is what, 1 or 2 games. At any given moment, the Orlando Magic can go back to top 6. I mean, right now we're fluctuating between 1 or 2 games behind the 5th and 6th seed, and they're going to be playing this balancing act between 5, 6, and 7, if you will, and maybe even 4 with the Milwaukee Bucks. But we're looking at Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, and Atlanta Hawks. So these are the teams that the Orlando Magic will have to balance their wins and losses against as the season continues to go to an end. So yeah, them being in the top
Wow.
6 at the end of regular season is not anything we should be concerned about, because I'm not. I believe they'll be back top 6, and they'll be going
Mhm.
into the postseason easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Shout out to the Indiana Pacers. I mean, they came from the dust, right? But wow. Okay. All right, so this past week, the Orlando Magic, as I mentioned, they took an L to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, but they did beat the Philadelphia 76ers, who were without Joel Embiid, right? The Magic should have won that game.
Oh my gosh,
But
they lost.
against the Milwaukee Bucks, they're 0-3 on the season. That's a problem. And
Yes,
then
that's
they're
gonna be an
split with the
issue.
Boston Celtics. And these are teams that they
Yep.
could face down the road. So I think in terms of psyche, they're gonna have to stay strong. And as they get their pieces back, like Franz Wagner will be
Yeah.
reevaluated in 7 to 10 days. We know Mo
Hmm.
Wagner's out for the entire season, but
Yes.
Franz
Yes.
is going to help tremendously when he gets back.
Yeah, I also agree with that. We still have to understand that this is still an Orlando Magic team that has not been at full strength for a long time,
Mhm.
right? So we're talking about going up against the Boston Celtics, against the Milwaukee Bucks, and if they are where they are with them, it's only because they haven't been full strength. And those other teams, Celtics and Bucks, who we know they'll see potentially see in the postseason, they've been pretty healthy. So I am concerned about that. And really, I'm concerned about that not because of their defense, but because of their shooting. Not because I don't believe the Orlando Magic can hold their own against them. Now, let's just be honest, though. The Milwaukee Bucks' recent loss that the Orlando Magic faced wasn't a blowout. So there is something there. I think the difference will be their shooting. If they can get that back once they're whole again, the Orlando Magic is whole again, we may see a different Orlando Magic against the Milwaukee Bucks. And since they are now three under, right, with that particular series, they know what to expect. They know what the game plan for. And I just think the next matchup that we'll see with them will be different.